Hello, hello, hello. So I have already gotten this ink on my board in the place where it shouldn't and it's not supposed to be. So there's that, and I just realized that I'm gonna probably need some kind of other reservoir. So this is the ink that I'm going to use. It's a watercolor ink. I compromised between some aspirations of mine and some things I'm going to do artistically, um, and decided to work with something water based to begin with before I dive into a world I'm unfamiliar with. And so, oh yeah, my glasses, they're on my head. Haha. I have people watching. Say hello. Let me know you're here. I this piece, provided everything goes well, um, will be the piece I will be what, how do you call it? It's not an auction. Giving away for free, to the names of whoever I can verify is sub to my YouTube channel. Once I have 100 subscribers and I can set up a vanity URL, I am going to gift a piece of art to one of those beautiful lucky souls. Ooh, this is pretty. Holy hell. Okay, I can get on board with this. So, hi Shannon. Oh, I said hi Shannon. That is so weird. So weird. I have been using the same webcam or the same external cam. It's a very expensive camera. Why it just stopped working? That's not fun at all. That's not okay with me. What the hell? This is not going to be any good if you can't see the art. I don't care. I don't need you to see me. I don't want you to see me. I'm gonna try to get the other camera to work, you guys. I don't understand why it's doing that. That's like so strange. It's still not recognizing that camera. What the fuck? You know, just it's like, if it's not one thing, it's something else. And let's see. Oops. What did I just do? Okay, so that's welcome to Dory's shit show. Holy crap! Okay, I had four people watching me. I kid you not. I think I have a ghost. I think officially think I have a ghost. Uh, it's not. That's just not funny. Okay, so let me see if I can do this without making the camera cut off again. Okay. All right. I'm taking a deep breath. So this is a watercolor ink, very similar to using watercolor, like black watercolors. And what's amazing already to me, oops, okay, it's new to me, right? That's what I said. What's amazing to me is this flow, man. I can get behind this. I'm like, ooh, I can totally get behind this. So now I am still using a brush that I'm more akin to knowing how to use and understanding for flow, and it is new, and I kind of think I might have to snip the end. I think the brush itself is too long. I think it needs to be shorter. I have absolutely been known to do my own trimming on a brush if I don't like it. So for those of you there, if you getting caught up, I had some technical difficulties. My camera is working so far this time. If my camera shuts off, that's fine. I will figure it out. But I'm inking this using a watercolor ink, because I do want to get to that point where I know how to ink something traditionally. I have been doing what you're watching me do with watercolors from a palette for years and years and years. But to do it using anything remotely different in terms of it being more of an ink as opposed to whatever I'm doing with my watercolors, that's new to me. And it's still going to be new to me because I'm not using ink right now. I mean, it's technically ink, I guess. I don't know. But it's a watercolor ink, so it's water based. It's not the same. Most of this was inked, but I'm going back over some parts of it that I wanted to reinforce with this method. So I'm coming up on having 100 subscribers on my YouTube. I'm getting very, very close. And once I have 100 people subscribed to my YouTube, I am going to take anyone who is listed as a sub, provided their name is public, and I'm going to enter them into a drawing for a piece of art. And I just realized that, I probably maybe want to vet them privately, or not vet them, but ask them privately if they'd even want to be entered. Not that I think they would care. Or I'll just post it. I mean, if they subbed, they're subbed. And, they can always tell me they don't want the art. So, once I have 100 people, the people that I can determine for a fact are subscribers on my YouTube will be entered to win, hopefully, this piece I'm working on. And like I say, the reason I say hopefully is because I've never done this kind of inking before that you are watching me do. So I have no idea what's going to happen with it. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. I can already tell you this ink is messy and it's getting everywhere. But luckily, I compromised and started with watercolor ink to get myself into this mode without. Oh, that's fabulous. Okay, I can fucking get on board with that. Even if I never transition to real ink, I think I've been sold on using this instead of using the black in my palette, because some of the time when I try to do what you're watching me do right now, I can't get it to be this precise. This is fucking amazing. No wonder you guys in the comic book world use what you use, the way you use it. It's rad. That's pretty rad. So, I'm not surprised that I like it. I'm not surprised that I'm in love with it. I do know that what you're watching me do right now is 1,000 times more enjoyable and satisfying to me than doing the inking on the digital. Now, granted, I am on an iPhone, so I take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I may feel differently when I can afford the digital device that I have in mind. Because once I have that, I may not care. So yeah, I am doing some stuff on my phone, and I'm willingly dealing with it, the small screen and stuff, because the satisfaction I'm getting from what I am doing, no matter how challenging it is worth it. It's been worth it, and so because of that, I'm sally forth, continuing on, so to speak. Hi, there's people watching. Say hello if you'd like. So the link, if you are watching on YouTube, you won't, because you sub to me, you're not going to need to go sub. But if you're watching me in any of the other places that I'm live, you'll want to go to my YouTube and subscribe and make sure I can see that you're subscribed publicly so that you're entered to win this piece. And so far, I'm fairly certain she'll be just fine. Chances are I'm going to leave her just like this. I'm probably going to leave her in black and white. I have no plans to put color on this. I do have a digital inked version of her. I took a picture of her the night I did this originally. I did this in an art stream the other day, and I took a picture, and oops, oops. Oh, thank God I can make the line thicker and it be just fine. So yeah, I forgot what I was even saying. Oh, the digital one that I inked digitally. I am probably going to do a color digital coloring of her for the book I'm illustrating. But this one, the original, probably going to leave her alone. Doubt I am going to do much else with her other than what you see me doing right now. I am going to I think I'm going to love this watercolor ink. I'm thinking I probably should have bought like every color because they have multiple colors. This black was not the only kind of watercolor ink they have. They are far more expensive than just buying watercolor that you mix with water yourself. And I can see why, because these are basically like mixed watercolor, only there's clearly obviously something in it that keeps it in liquid form, because anyone out there, if you work with watercolors, once you don't have water with them, they dry. They go back to being dry, which I love actually, because it's one of the reasons why watercolors are my favorite, because I can just let them, once I'm done, they just get dry again, and then they're fine. You can't exactly leave out oil paint and come back to it. I mean, you kind of, well, okay, maybe if you have a good thinner. Like I did get some more of the oil thinner today, which is good because I have an oil painting that I need to finish, and I've been avoiding it for a few reasons. One of which was just I was annoyed with it and didn't want to go there anymore. I was like, I can't do this right now. I'm going to make this whole thing solid black. The other part of it was I got to this point where I couldn't really work with the oils because I didn't have my oil, the paint thinner stuff. So I got more of that today at Michael's, and so I'm good. I'm good on that, so I can get back to that oil painting and finish it up. Now that I know that if I start working with the oils and they're too thick, then I actually have something that can thin it out, which is good. Okay, this stuff is freaking amazing. It's so pristine, and I have a suspicion that I still like. I mean, I like this brush, but it's a new brush for me, so it's not exactly something I'm used to yet. I'm getting there. I still think maybe it's too long. But sometimes I'm scared of cutting a brush at all, really, because I'd much rather just get another style or another kind and not have to do that to get a brush I want. However, the other thing I'm hesitant about cutting it, I don't know. We will continue to do what we're doing tonight for now. I don't plan on being on here forever. I did want to. I couldn't take it. I've been working on creative stuff since I got home, and even though I technically have already done my creating today in spades, honestly, to be truthful, I wanted to try this particular product. Of all the things I got at Michael's today, which was a lot, this was one of the ones that was calling my name. Oh, I can dig that, man. Oh, okay. I'm going to try to move this camera so you guys can see a little more of what I'm doing. Okay. Now I'm nervous. It seemed like at first the camera was going out because I was moving it. And then it seemed like it was just kind of going out to go out. And now that it must be that port, that USB port, because it is a USB port that is used all the time. And I literally use it and I'm on a laptop that only has 2 USB ports. I need to get one of those external port docking things. Like, I have one for work, but that's at work. So, I forgot what oh yeah, so I have a feeling maybe because that USB port is the primary port and it's the one that's always being used, maybe that there's a problem with it. I'll probably run a troubleshooter on it later too. But it's working just fine now. I put it in a different port, a different USB port, and so far so good. So I'm totally digging this. Really digging this. So amazing to me. I'm still, very much okay with this, actually. I'm not going to, disclaimer, not disparaging myself. But I definitely am still seeing, for the most part, my own style to me, what I like to do, which is very not exact realism kind of stuff. Like, clearly this is definitely not a realistic. I mean, it's more realistic than some of my work, for sure. But she's still very much abstract with some, okay, so I got my first time having way too much paint on the brush, and I'm sure that was had way more to do with my impatience than anything else. I was like, okay, and I kind of like was expecting that to happen sooner or later. I'm like, see, which is also why I know I'm not going to be on here very long. Ooh, I like that. Let me turn the brush. Okay, so maybe I could see a different brush for some of the controlled fine lines, that kind of thing. But for what I'm doing right now, which is kind of more freedom, there's a lot more freedom to what I'm doing with the brush for the design. This brush is perfect for that. It was so cool when I went to Michael's today. I was asking about quills and inks and stuff, and the girl, she's just like, she had no idea. I'm not even sure she knew if she was in a Michael's or not. Like, she was just, that clueless. That's the nicest word I can say. So she luckily calls over one of her coworkers who was working in the framing department. I have a suspicion. I think he was one of the framers. And he comes over and he's talking to me about the brushes and the inks and oh my God, he was so knowledgeable. It was so amazing. And it's cool. Like, I get to talk art with people online and stuff, but it was a different experience to do that in person today with people in person. And then I got to meet this Ocean Beach guy. Okay, so what I want to say before I forget is this does dry very with a a very matte finish, which I don't know. I think I kind of like that. I mean, it's about, yeah, I mean, that's to be expected. Watercolors don't dry with any kind of sheen or gloss, which is, so this is to be expected. I mean, it's unique to or it's different than what I'm used to seeing. So, like, if I were to ink with a gel pen or some of the other pens that I have a couple of those Illustrator liner pens. I can almost always tell you, like, almost exactly. I don't even know how to say what I'm going to say. Like, I can tell, is the point. Let's just say it that way. I can tell. But this, like, especially over here, I can't, there's not a lot of, it's not all obvious. Like, if, like, what's pencil? Well, obviously the pencil is pretty obvious. Clearly I'm tired. But it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, I like the matte finish. I wasn't expecting, I didn't even think about what it would look like dry, once it's dry. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Of course, if I seal this with the way that I usually seal my art, which is using a high, super thick, multi-level coverage gloss. I use an acrylic gloss spray to seal my art. Then the fact that it's matte, the matte finish, isn't going to matter. It's not going to matter. It'll take this whole thing and turn it into a really super glossy, slick. There's way too much ink on there. And so, but I kind of want to toy with the idea of not doing that. Sealing my art that way. There's always, I don't know, I have this like super internal turmoil debate about it. I should talk to some more artists, different artists, and get their feedback on what they do. Particularly what they do with work that is like this, like, do you seal it? Why would you not seal it? That kind of thing. And get their opinions on it, because I would rather do what is normal, although I kind of tend to try to stay unique. But to be honest, it's like, if someone is not, like, if that's not a normal thing to do, the only reason I started doing it was because I get paranoid, and I can't fathom having a watercolor piece get wet and then it's ruined. But then I think I have to remind myself, like, most people are going to put this in something. Most people are going to frame it. Most people are going to, truly, they're not going to leave it out. They're not going to use it as a coaster dory. It's like, why would I care? Like, why am I really that worried about whether or not they're going to get it wet? And so, having that thought in mind, then the reason I was thinking about it had more to do with the integrity of the art and my concern with making sure that I am, paying true homage to what it's supposed to be like. What is someone going to technically be expecting to see if they were to, like, let's say if they were to buy a piece like this from me. And that's what I'm talking about. And I've got, oh my God, do I have artists to go to for that kind of opinions and advice? I got plenty. I do know one person in particular who seals his art with something similar to what I seal mine with. So it is not unheard of. I just need to talk to more, which is what I'll do. I'll talk to a bunch of different artists, a bunch of different gurus. I'll find the ones that have far more talent and experience than me, and I'll ask them, and I'll get their feedback and their opinions, and I'll probably still do it however the fuck I want to do it. But I'm gonna do the research. I know, I just made myself laugh. I said, did I just say that out loud and then just try to skip on past it without commenting to my own ludicrous comment? Yeah, that was me. but it's the truth. I would love to tell you that that was a joke, but that was definitely not a joke. Okay, between the brush and this ink, I'm digging. I just can't even tell you how much I love this precision. This is crazy good, like crazy good. I kind of want to try a different brush, but I'm kind of afraid to now that I've gotten this far with her in the scope of it. I don't want to fuck it up. I'm like, I want to be able to give this piece away. She was definitely something that came out of nowhere. She wasn't planned. She technically doesn't go with any of the poetry poems in my book. I mean, she does in a way that I kind of basically put an outfit on her that's similar to what you'd wear if you were doing burlesque. And I am probably going to wait until I'm offline, but I am going to convert her top part of her outfit to be this bustier type thing that comes right below the breasts in a way that's very revealing, is a way of putting it. So we shall see what the final one ends up looking like. Ooh. I just touched some wet paint somewhere. Hopefully I did not smear it too bad. So that should be interesting when I do that. And I seriously doubt I will finish her in one stream. I figured I would, come on, at least for an hour before bed. This gives me an opportunity to get having used this ink, as well as getting to paint something today, because I do. I mean, it's so funny. I've been working since I got off my day job. I went and got supplies, and then I came home. And I was listening to podcasts like I normally do, live feeds. It's my jam, But I still, even though I was working on my own stuff. I was working on my webtoons. Organizing the stuff I got actually was part of it. So, and working on my webtoons, which I'm super proud of. This one I'm super proud of. I did all of these sketch pieces and took pictures of them with my cute little iPhone. And I've been digitally inking and coloring them ever since. So I think I did the original pencils. I might have did them on Sunday, actually. Maybe it was Saturday. I don't know. I posted something else on Sunday, a really short one. It was actually a short repeat webtoon that's only like maybe 4 panels. But this one that I was doing earlier, it's like 15 panels. By the time I get done, it's going to have at least 18. Because today, after I got it all said and done and set up and mostly all lettered and stuff, I was looking at it and I'm like, there's a part of the webtoon episode where, to me, I need more. So I'm gonna go back to those. I put placement pages in the webtoon design program that I use, and so the pages are there. They're blank. There's nothing on them because I need to sketch something to go with those. I have an idea of what I'm going to do. One of them is a profane word, so I have to kind of think of something else to use. Although, from what I've been seeing, Webtoon says, on the one hand, it says you can't use the F word. Oh my God, but people use it all the time. There's actually people on there where their entire series, in the name of the series, is the F word. So I don't understand what they mean by, no F word, because I see the F word on there all the time. But having said that, because I know it's in the rules for the use of webtoons to not use the F word. At least I don't know. I'm gonna have to go check now. I'm not even sure if that's a thing, but I'm gonna find out. Okay, right at the halfway mark. Perfect timing. Because I'm almost done with at least going in here and inking the parts of this that I had already inked or had already gone over. And so I'm doing that now, which is nice, because what you're going to see, it should look fairly similar to what it looked like at the beginning of this video. Only because like I said, I had inked this before, but I was using one of these digital illustration inks, and this one's nice because it's basically also helping me give everything the same flow, pretty much, of ink. I don't have pieces of it that are like super, super wide inked things, and then these little skinny parts. Sooner or later, someone will probably tell me if there's a way to have the system take all of your lines and kind of make them the same width or whatever. I don't even know if that's even a possibility. I don't have a clue. I do know that I've been using Sketchbook because it's free, and I'm all about getting into this and diving into this, but I got no interest in it costing me money. It's one thing if I don't make anything at it, and that's all right. If I don't make anything at it for right away or whatever, I got that. I'm okay with that. I just saw something. Okay. Oh, here it is. I'm like, what the hell? I saw it. I was like, I want to make sure I come in here and give this a much wider appearance right here. And this is one of those things I love about getting to see the image on the screen, whatever it is I'm working on, because what I just saw that I wanted to come do over here, I may not have seen that just looking down at this piece. I didn't see it until I looked up. When I looked up and saw it on the screen, I knew I needed to come in here and do what you are watching me do. Okay, much better. Okay, so there's really not any real rhyme or reason to this pose, the scene. It's not affiliated with the poetry book. It's not affiliated with anything. It is just a piece of a woman that I did the other night. And what's really cool, though, now get this. Here's the big reveal. So if you're watching, this is not a secret per se, because I said this the other night on the stream where I drew this. However, no, this doesn't go with a poem. It doesn't go in the book. But what it does do is it clues everyone in on these practice pages I've been doing that are going to help me learn what it even means to use comic book panels. Like, what is that even about? And the guy is called Wally something. And he's just one guy. He's just one. He's not the end-all, be-all, guru of all. So don't get your, self up in a bunch or whatever you want to call it, because I didn't name your favorite guru, whoever that may be. Don't get it twisted. I didn't know who this Wally person was until like a month ago, and all I know is that I love this 22 panel sheet that I came across, and I've been practicing them. And so this one is from that Wally sheet, and it's called the L shapes. So there's geometrical representation of the L in the piece. I went a whole kind of sort of different way. I did it the L down here, but it's kind of in reverse a little bit. And then I just kind of stopped. The other, I can't remember. I think that's it. I think that was it. Was the shape? Oh, silhouette. No, sorry. Excuse me. So in addition to the shape, this particular practice piece was for practicing. Oh my God, I'm already this exhausted. A silhouette. That's the word. So a silhouette really technically is a solid black image from, well, okay, from what the haiku or the, oh my God, I'm saying haiku now. I'm not even in the right webtoon. I am going to literally pass out because I'm so exhausted. So, almost done though. So I just think it would be kind of cool to have someone access stuff that nobody else has. Whoa, that was weird. I almost feel like I'm going to like actually go to sleep while I'm painting. That's how tired. That's how sleepy I am. Man, I love how far I can go with the brush before I need any more ink on it. It's amazing. Oh, it's smeared right there. My second Bob Ross mistake, happy mistake, is usually a lot more by now. So, I probably won't. Like I said, I probably won't do any color on this. However, I do want to do something to the back for the background. I am almost done with what I'm going to do for the night. So if you're there and you're watching and you want to say hello, maybe some words of encouragement, and that would be it. Oh, I just got ink all over the place. That's funny. It's okay though. It suits the piece actually to have these random lines of ink coming from all over the place. Totally suits the drawing. It gives me an idea of what to do next. All right, so this is pretty much done for now. I'm thinking what I want to do with the background. Should be interesting. You know? Oh, I forgot something. Okay, so, ooh, that's wet. I totally didn't even go near her face. Duh. I don't know if I am awake enough to do her face. Oh, fuck. Okay, I am officially gotta go to sleep. That is a pretty significant Bob Ross mistake. Big, huge smudge of ink. Right there in the middle of her bustier thing. So, she will have a design up here that I wasn't expecting to put in, which is fine. Oh, I got a better idea. Okay, I'm going to do this super badass amount of super thick ink. And then I'm going to get the heck out of here and not ruin it anymore by doing stuff while the ink's wet and messing me all up and getting me all over the place. The last thing I need is to spend my time. The last thing I need is to waste my time. And that includes what I'm actually, when I'm totally in control of how I spend that time. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do for now. I am going to leave her the way she is. This washes off really good since it is a watercolor ink. I'm going to put that brush totally separate from everything else. Put the ink away. And I thank you. Hey, check me out. I kept it under an hour. I'm usually way longer than this. So if you got this, I will say this again. So I'm almost to 100 subs, which is wonderful. And it's very exciting because once I get to that, I plan on I am so tired of losing my mind. I don't even know what I'm even saying. Oh, that's because I'm in spotlights. Wow. So I am going to have a giveaway for a piece of art, the artwork you see in front of you. It is going to be something I'm going to do after I get to 100 subs. I'm going to take everyone who is subbed, who is on there, and I'm going to put them in a drawing. That's so weird. So this isn't letting me switch brands. Wait, Let me see what happens when you do this. Oh, it does let me do that. Okay. So let me take that off. Once again, this is the piece that is going to be given away to someone who happens to be a subscriber on my YouTube. I'm looking at it in the screen because I definitely, I'm appreciating some of the things I notice. Like, I'm going to do more over here. There's things I notice when I'm looking on this screen, the way I'm looking, as opposed to looking down. And I see something different. And that I didn't really ever do that before, so I didn't even really understand the benefit of it. But it's definitely a nice plus for doing these videos and coming on here. And I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who was in here, and I hope to see you soon.